Alright guys, we are back for another Dokkan battle video. So today we're going to take a look at this Whis. This is one of the 5 Battle of Gods EZAs we got. I think that this Whis is actually pretty decent. I don't want to, jump, oh my god, he's so busted, ridiculous. But I do think that this Whis is just going to be like a safe run on the Bond of Master and Disciple category. That's kind of the thing right now. On JP, we do have the Carnival LR Kid Gohan, who's a 200% lead for Bond of Master and Disciple. And I do think this Whis is a pretty decent character on that category, because if you have a full Bond of Master and Disciple rotation, Whis will have a 50% chance to dodge. So a decent support type character with a 50% chance to dodge, that's not bad. Like, I will take that. Again, this guy could, sort of be red zone viable. I mean, it depends. He probably could take a lot of damage if you're hit in, like, a bad spot or something like that. But if he's getting his dodges off and he's supporting, this guy can have a very helpful effect in red zone content. So let's just jump into one of these red zone fights, and we'll just, sort of see how Whis performs. Alright, guys, so we're here in an event. We have got our boy Whis out. Now, if I'm, like, seriously going through, what we probably would do with this Whis character, right, is we would be having him in this exact role right here. So Whis is giving all allies 3 key and 30% attack and defense. Then he gives Realm of Gods category allies another 10% attack, defense, and chance to crit. Unfortunately, Vegeta and Trunks does not count. Even though Vegeta's Realm of Gods, Trunks is not, so they're not on that. And then also, Bond of Master and Disciple category allies get 10% attack, defense, and crit chance as well. So it's like Whis is going to be very effective in supporting a lot of characters, in particular like Beerus or Whis characters, like, LR Beerus and Whis and stuff like that. This unit can work very well. But I think Whis, could kind of just settle into a nice role just as sort of like a floating support type unit. I think Whis could be very effective. So let's see. So he's at 160k defense. He gets 30% defense from his super attack effect. Whis also gets an additional 60% attack and defense per Realm of Gods category ally in the same turn. So Whis is definitely going to be a lot stronger if we're using more Realm of Gods characters. That's another thing to keep in mind. So, I mean, there certainly are some heavy restrictions around what Whis is doing in terms of his support and stuff like that, but I do still like him, right? I mean, we're comparing Whis to, I don't know, like the AGL God Goku who came out, or like some of these other characters. Like, Whis is like actually like a decent character, right? Like, they could have made him better, yeah, like, of course, but like I actually see value in this Whis. He does lower enemy attack from his super attack effect, which, certainly could be useful in like a burst mode or something like that. I mean, that's a lot of these types of characters, it is burst mode. It's not like, oh yeah, Kid Gohan sweeps the entire game. Vegeta and Trunks sweep the entire game. We get to like this Whis. Whis is not a sub EZA, but he's pretty close, right? 1.7 right there, certainly not the craziest, but the extra stats to the stronger character certainly do make up for it. Alright, well, because I'm, like, during this run, I'll probably be floating him a lot, so we'll probably be cutting around. We'll be back in a sec. Alright, guys, we got another rotation here. Yeah, you do gotta love Int LR Piccolo up over 500k defense with this. Yeah, thank you, Whis, for the 500k plus defense. Yeah, that's why, like, that's a free-to-play character there. 500k defense with guard, by the way, in case anyone is curious to say, oh my god, you can't expect free-to-play characters to tank. Oh, really? You don't say. Let's just get a couple more rotations of Whis like this. Well, I do want to see what Whis' stats will look like, too, if we put him sort of maybe, like, next to, like, Vados or something like that. I do think that if we got, like, some really powerful slot 1, like, Beerus Dokkan Fest or something like that, like, some sort of Beerus card, like a Carnival LR Hakai Beerus or something, I don't know. I do think that both this Int Whis and the EZA LR Beerus and Whis would be very effective with, again, like a Carnival LR Hakai Beerus. I think that that's something that could happen, and, we would get some interesting sort of buffs right here, right? Okay, so 1.79, I mean, his attack is certainly not that high unless we have, like, Realm of Gods allies, and then there's the dodge. That's That's the most important thing, right? A unit that is supporting, but then also gives us the dodge is just a huge, huge W right there. Okay. That's funny. That's comedy right there. Yeah, so that's exactly why Whis can help out very good in these red zone style fights. Exactly that. Slot 3 super attack by, you know, perfect cell at the end right here. Well, we'll just simply dodge with Whis' 50% chance to dodge. I did give my Whis a full dodge build as well. I mean, I don't giving like if anyone would argue anything other than dodge on this character, like, come on. Like this is a support. The whole point, supports can be very helpful. You don't need them to do damage at all. You see them to live. Them giving the extra abilities, key, and stats to the big, strong characters is what's so valuable, right? Perfect. Okay. Well, I'm glad we saw that. We got Whis, you know, dodging and surviving a 1 million damage super attack, which is beautiful. Let's now, again, get, like, a rotation of Whis, sort of next to, like Vados or some of those characters like that. Okay, the 200k from the normal is certainly not good, right? So that is the thing. I mean, if we had more Realm of Gods category allies, he could tank those a little bit better, maybe even completely, right? But if we are rocking Whis without the extra Realm of Gods buffs, it's like we do have to rely on his dodge. The dodge is going to be super, super important for that Whis. Alright, so let's see if Whis' stats can be just a little bit higher in a situation like this. I mean, it's going to be. We have a lot of support here from Vados, and remember, Whis does get that extra 60% attack and defense per Realm of Gods category ally as well. So here he's up to 300k, and he gets 30% defense when he super attacks, right? So he looks much stronger here, and this is why, like, in Whis and Beerus and Whis, the EZA, these two characters are kind of like bubbling, where I think they would be very good, actually, if you were under, like, you know, again, top 5 unit in the game, Carnival LR Hakai Beerus, right? Like, that, it would work, I think, very effectively. Now, Whis' link set, fortunately, the boy only has 6 links. This is unacceptable. All characters should have 7 links that are TURs or LRs. So his link set is Godly Power, Cold Judgment, Connoisseur, Gentleman, Shocking Speed, and Shattering Limit. Cold Judgment, of course, 25% defense. I mean, that's going to be huge, right? Towards, you know, having our defense way higher. I guess Cold Judgment, unfortunately, is not something usually that, like, Beerus and Whis or Beerus himself typically has. So that's probably not something, like, that's more so something we'd get by pairing Whis with another one of the Angel characters, right? Which, I mean, we still could get more Angel characters. I don't see any reason why it's like, oh, we're never getting another Angel again or anything like that. I think we probably would, right? So we'll see when that might happen. I think I probably just want to get, like, this next rotation, and then we'll be pretty comfortable with what we've seen from Whis, right? Like, we could use him in the really tough fights just as sort of like a floating support. But then, of course, we also could utilize him as, like, a much stronger support on, like, a Realm of Gods centric team, right? Like, if there's, like, a Realm of Gods mission or something like that, Whis certainly would be a really nice character to potentially use. So let's see what we look like here. Yeah, he's at 400k at the start of turn. Again, he gets 30% defense when he supers, right? So, not bad. And we have all those 4 links activated just with Margarita. I mean, both Margarita and Vados, I believe, are giving 60% support to Whis. Plus, we have Whis' full passive up, which is, you know, the 60% attack and defense per Realm of Gods category ally. So, it's like this Whis definitely, next to, like, Beerus's and other Angel characters, he could work effectively. And remember, Whis' dodge is just start of turn, as we're seeing right there. 3.87. So, I like this Whis. I can see why some people might not be too crazy about him, but, I mean, I feel like I've been pretty consistent. If a character is a support, and they're at least vaguely red zone viable, I like them. You know, you can get away. these support characters do so much for the top characters in the game, man. So I do like this Whis. I think this Whis is a pretty solid EZA. You know, there was 9 EZAs. A couple of them are fumbles, but a couple of these EZAs are pretty good as well. They're not all terrible. No way. All right, this is Guide to the New Beyond Whis. His leader skill is AGL, Int, and Physical, type Key 3 and 80% to stats. His super attack is the Prelude to Destruction, which raises defense by 30% for 1 turn, does supreme damage to the enemy, and then lowers enemy attack. The attack debuffing, again, Super Battle Road, Burst Mode, Battlefield could be useful, right? His passive skill, Heightened Spirit, gives him 120% attack and defense at the start of turn. Then he gives all allies 3 key and 30% attack and defense. Then he gives Realm of God category allies 10% chance, or 10% attack, 10% defense, and a 10% chance to crit. Then he also gives Bond of Master and Disciple category allies 10% attack, 10% defense, and a 10% chance to crit. So like a Beerus character is getting 50% to stats and 20% crit and 3 key. That is quite a lot right there. Then finally, Whis gets 60% attack and defense at the start of turn per Realm of God category ally in the same turn. And then Whis also gets a 25% chance to dodge per Bond of Master and Disciple category ally attacking in the same turn. So it's like if you're using basically the angels and gods, this Whis is a very, very strong support for sure. Whis' links are Godly Power, Connoisseur, Cold Judgment, Gentleman, Shocking Speed, and Shattering the Limit. 12 heal multipliers, 135%. And I guess one kind of downside to some of these Whis characters for sure is that Whis units usually they don't have a ton of teams, right? I guess, I mean, that certainly would be a concern here. So Realm of Gods, I mean, we'll take Whis for Realm of Gods, sure. Sibling Bond, I mean, this is kind of a quirky category. I certainly am not upset with extra options to Siblings Bond. He's also over here on Bond of Master and Disciple. Again, that's the 200% team we're rocking him with the LR Kid Gohan. I mean, he certainly was able to work effectively. And then finally, there is the Space Traveling Warrior category team, which Whis is a part of. So, Space Traveling Warriors, man, this is, like, if there's a 170% team I want, like, more than anything, it's probably this one. Space Traveling Warriors would just be such a crazy 200% team, and like Whis and Chi-Lai and a bunch of these characters would work very effectively on it, right? So let me know what you guys think of this EZA INT WHIS. I like him. I think he's solid. But, you know, I like Physical Bardock. Basically all these, you know, support units who vaguely can be effective on these red zone difficult stages and stuff like that, I think are very, very helpful. You know, of course, this guy could be useful maybe against, like, Cell Max, stuff like that, being into a dodge. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think of our boy EZA INT WHIS. Thanks, guys, for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.